Hey guys, so I thought I'd show you around one of the medical centres that I work in, just so you got an idea as to what things are like behind the scenes. So right over here, we've got the reception desk, which is where the reception staff will greet you when you come in and you check in, and they'll ask you to have a seat, which is literally one of the seats around here. Now, as you can see, we are socially distancing at the moment, so our chairs are apart, and patients are greeted at the front door and then made sure that they don't have any temperature and no symptoms of any cold or flu-like symptoms, because we don't want to be spreading any illnesses. No way. And now, once I've called your name, you'll be greeted to see me inside my consultation room, which is here. As you can see, that's me. And you can come in and you'll be invited to have a seat just over here. And behind me is my desk. And I have to say, it is looking rather messy because Dr. Nora is literally, she's on lunch break and she's got about... Now I'm getting my sandwich. But as you can see, I've got loads of paperwork that I need to do. I've got a couple of reports I need to do, and I've got about half an hour to do it. I probably will stay in after work just to finish off my paperwork, type up my notes, make sure that everything is 100%. 100%, we always like having 100%. And on the walls, you can see we've got some posters. And this is really important actually. So this one says, as a practice policy, we don't prescribe medicines that people can get addicted to, because we're not that kind of practice, and I'm not that kind of doctor. So make sure that if you are that kind of person looking for that doctor, you can come here, but chances are you're not going to get anything from us. We also have a zero tolerance. Now, luckily, fortunately for us, we don't usually have to enforce this. We don't really have to kick people out of the practice because they're being rude. However, on some occasions, we have unfortunately had to call security of patients who get rowdy, and usually it tends to be the patients who have been rejected from this medicine that they tend to go off and huff. They'll swear at me, they'll swear at the staff, and they'll just storm out the front door. And they might be patients that might be hanging around actually on the front door saying, oh, that medical centre this, that medical centre that, and we'll usually call the security to take them away. But these two actually, interestingly, often go together. But 99% of the time, literally everyone's really polite and no one ever really kind of gets into trouble with us. Now, what else do I have? Well, over here, I've got a second chair, which is for people who are accompanying their person that's coming in the hot seat over here. And right over here as well, I've got the couch, which is where patients will come for their medical examinations. As you can see, I haven't actually changed the sheet just yet because I've been so busy. And usually I've got somebody who can help me with my room, but unfortunately today I'm just having to do it all by myself. And we've also got a screen as well for your dignity and your privacy. And of course, a small wash basin in the corner there, which will allow me to wash my hands in between patients. Moving on from there, we've got the trolley. I love my trolley. So my trolley is something that I use literally all the time. And with that, it's got a drawer, and the drawer has got all sorts of swabs. So swabs that we need to do for discharge, STI screens, urine samples, pap smears, you name it, the whole shebang. And underneath that as well, as you can see here, we've got speculums, we've got pap smears, and we've also got some jelly and some pregnancy tests as well. So this is literally my favorite thing of the whole room, because it helps me to get organized, especially if patients are having procedures as well, because I do a lot of procedures, whether it's skin procedures, cosmetic procedures, family planning procedures. Literally, it is my favorite part of the whole room, which is kind of sad, isn't it? Behind me here, I've got a door, and this door leads to the air conditioning. And the great thing about this is I get control of the air conditioning. Now, sometimes it doesn't always happen in a practice. I used to work in a medical center where there was one air conditioning unit that controlled the whole of the medical center, and the doctor next to me was always cold. And so we'd be so stuffy and hot, and we'd be like, please, can you turn the air conditioning? And she'll say, no, I'm freezing, you need to turn it off. So having an air conditioning unit that I can actually control myself actually stops disputes between doctors. So bearing in mind, if you do ever have a practice yourself, make sure you have a practice which you can actually control the air conditioning yourself. Right behind me here, you can see my light is shining. I'm going to turn that off to save electricity, and what that does is it helps me to examine my patients, and you can see where the position of this light is, and you can imagine what this light is looking for. I'm going to let you guys guess what this light is for in this position, and leave me a comment in the comment section below, because I'd love to know what you guys think. Hint for you guys, it might be for women. right over here we've got the we've got a Snellen chart. A Snellen chart is an eyesight test, so you have to find these in all the doctor's surgery to make sure the eyesight is okay. So right over here you can see my lovely desk. I've got some papers over here. I've got some reports I need to write up. I've got my computer, I've got my printer, which always jams. That's so annoying. I've got my trusty bottle of water, my blood pressure cuff. As you can see, I've got an electronic, and I've also got a manual blood pressure cuff as well. I've got a telephone system as well that connects to the front desk. Now I'm going to take you to the treatment room, which is where procedures take place when the nurse is here. And as you can see, it says treatment room. It's also a place where I do procedures as well, if I need a little bit more space. And as you can see, this room is huge. It has got everything. Literally, you've got another bed over here. Again, I've used it this morning. I haven't been able to change the roll because literally I'm flat on my feet. And I've also got another trolley over here as well, which is what we call a crash trolley. So it's got all of our emergency medicine for patients who might be coming in with heart attacks, potential heart attacks, or even sickness or in severe acute symptoms. And it's stocked up to the brim. We always have to make sure that we keep our medicines in date, and our nurse does check that on a monthly basis. Right behind me here, you can see our controlled drug cabinet, which is important for those kind of medicines that we spoke about earlier that might need to be given under strict guidance. And as you can see behind me, I've got a whole bunch of cupboards, and generally speaking, they're filled with lots of medicines. Medicines. What do you expect in the doctor's surgery? They're not fun medicines. They're like anti-sickness tablets, all that sort of stuff, Panadol. We've got some biopsy blades, some skin procedure stuff over here, some dressings. And over here, next to the bed, we've got a ECG machine, which I might actually do an actual ECG machine if you guys, I might actually do an ECG reading if you guys are interested. We can get a real life person, a model, to come in and we can show you how we do the ECGs, because sometimes I have to do ECGs. If I don't have a nurse, I sometimes have to do them, and I have to read them as well. Live as a GP. What else do we have in this room? We've got a fridge, which is our vaccines fridge. Now that is important for babies who are coming in, or even adults that are coming in for the vaccinations. Could be like a pregnant lady who's coming in, or those of you coming in for your flu jabs. You might actually see us digging into the vaccine fridge over there. What else do we have in this gorgeous room? We've got a light for procedures, and we've also got a computer desk for the nurse. Whew, whirlwind tour of this GP surgery. This is our staff room. So you can see it's pretty small, it's cute. It's got a small table, got some fridge over there. Not really that exciting. And back into the waiting room. So right inside of here we have our pathologist, who's the lady that takes your blood. I'm just going to pretend I'm having my blood taken. So you'd sit here if you're having a blood test, and she would take your blood away from you, much like a vampire. It's a pretty decent room. It's well sized. It's got loads of stuff for blood taking, and it's also got a bed just in case patients are feeling a bit dizzy and they want to have a lie down, because it happens. Let's face it. Who likes needles? I'd love to know if any of you have ever fainted during a blood test. Personally, I've seen it happen way too many times. So I hope you've enjoyed that whirlwind tour of our consultation area in our GP practice. I've got about 4 notes to write up. Wish me luck. I've got another 6 hours worth of work, and I will see you very soon.